So I don't believe in anything supernatural anymore. So I believe this is kind of it. Do you believe that you are in control of your own life? I believe I'm in control of my decisions and my actions. Definitely things happen to me that are beyond my control. So yes and no. Blue Jay says, the shame and guilt that comes with a religion is so heavy and not worth it. Yeah. And I remember feeling that sort of doubled when I was a Christian, because I would explain that, like, that anxiety and that guilt and shame that I would feel. And then I would have Christians telling me, no, but Jesus says my yoke is easy and my burden is light. And Jesus loves you unconditionally. You shouldn't be feeling that. And then I would feel guilty for feeling all of that guilt and shame. So that was just not a good combination for me. Yeah, Barton, I totally get that. Barton says, I want to be good enough for him. Even though I feel like I'm a good person, it never feels like it's enough. And I think some of that is particularly that evangelical teaching of we are just so terribly sinful that we deserve hell. And I think the way a lot of our brains work is that it's easy for us to be critical of ourselves. It's harder, I think, maybe to see that in people we love, to say, oh, this person that I love, do they really deserve hell? But it's easier, I think, for us to be harder on ourselves. Hi, sorry, I'm going to try and get to the comments are coming pretty fast, so I'm going to do my best. I was Christian my whole life until I was 26. Seraph says, I don't believe that belief in hell is necessary for Christians to go to heaven. Nice. Are you a universalist? My parents are still Christians, yes. Let's see. Sorry, I'm still scrolling up here. Thank you, Jackie. Maya says, but what about the argument about God knows everything but created the devil? Like, isn't that crazy? It is, the problem of evil is quite a big problem. Why a all good and all powerful God would have created evil in the first place, for sure. You too, Barton. Destiny asked, do you ever fear being wrong and missing the rapture? So 2 different questions there. I am definitely open to the possibility that I'm wrong. I think that's kind of one of the nice things about deconstructing my faith is that, I don't feel like I have to have the perfect answer for everything. I think there's a lot of possibilities and a lot of things we just can't know. So I definitely accept the possibility of me being wrong. I am not worried about missing the rapture, though. That is no longer an anxiety that I have. Rai says, did you change because you questioned why bad things happen to good people? Not exactly. I more questioned why God would create people and then allow them to spend eternity in hell. So that's like a related question, but not quite the same question. What was it like coming out to friends and family? Yeah, it's funny that it is sort of this coming out of sorts. It was gradual for me, so I told people kind of one at a time. I ended up losing a lot of friends, and I lost a community, so that was really hard. I am lucky that, while my parents were definitely upset, and I'm sure that they still, pray for me every day, they they have it sort of accepted where I am and meet me where I am. And I'm able to have a good relationship with them. So I'm very grateful for that. Sarah says, but Satan is a fallen angel, so he was originally created to be good. That might be the case, although I do think there's some theological discrepancy about if Lucifer and Satan are actually the same. But if God was all-knowing, if he had foresight, then he would have known that that was going to happen when he created him in the first place. Yeah, All Religious Reject says deconstruction is so hard. Christians think it's some fun thing to do. It's painful. You lose people you love. Absolutely. I've on some of my lives, I've been accused of taking the easy way out and quitting when it got hard. But man, deconstruction is by far the harder road. I agree. Oh, no, I'm not wearing a Catholic necklace. No, there's a constellation on that. Thanks, Anne. Apple user says, how did you go about studying religion enough to be confident to say that you're atheist? So I studied Christianity an enormous amount. And then when I stopped believing in God, you could make the argument that I stopped believing in that God. But I think atheism is not itself a belief. It's just the lack of belief in a God. So for me to believe in a God, I would have to be convinced that God existed. How do you answer that he gives you free will to believe what you want? Well, if there is the eternal consequence of suffering forever, he really isn't giving us the free will to believe what we want. But the other thing I would say is if you believe in a God who designed us intimately, if he knows every hair that's on our head, then he knew exactly what we were going to choose when he designed us, and he made choices in his design. So I don't think we do have free will in that system to believe what we want. Yes, Deb, I spent quite a bit of one-on-one time with God. The last year that I was a Christian, it was about 2 hours every day. Oh, Destiny, I'm so sorry. It's such a hard, scary place to be. Get any kind of support that you can, and give yourself a lot of compassion, and remind yourself that you are human and you are doing the best that you can. Lexi asked, how long did it take you to get past your internal shame, even when strong in deconstructing? I don't know. That's a good question. I don't remember. I think once I finally was sure that I didn't believe in God anymore, then I didn't feel that same kind of shame. I felt frustration and I was angry at myself for a little while. But that was a different emotion than shame. So I think once I finally got to sort of my landing place of what I believed, then a lot of that shame went away. No, I didn't experience church hurt. I'm really genuinely curious where this phrase church hurt comes from. I hadn't even heard that phrase exactly until I got on TikTok.